Have you ever wondered why you absent-mindedly snack on something while you're working, whether or not you're hungry? Or why you automatically hit the light switch when walking into a room, even without thinking about it? Well, those activities, as much as constantly sipping a drink while talking or wiping your mouth after every bite, they are all habits. And habits are defined as an acquired behavior pattern, regularly followed until it has become almost involuntary. In other words, something you do so often, you're not even conscious of doing it.
You hit on a key aspect of habit, is habits aren't just there, but you get them by repetition and reinforcement. Repetition is obvious, regularly doing it, and the more you do it are conditions that'll make you prone to have a habit. And then the second feature is reinforcement. Was the outcome good? Is that something you needed to do that helped you survive, get about your business?
Now there's new insight on habits, how we form them, and why it's tough to change them. Duke University researchers have discovered that habits, good or bad, leave a lasting mark on specific circuits in the brain. That's right, habits actually change the wiring in your brain, and that's not all bad.
So imagine if during your day-to-day life, every tiny mundane thing that you automatically do, you really had to sit and think about the cause and effect. I need this, so I have to figure out a solution. It'd be pretty crippling. It'd be hard to really do lots of other novel things that really need a lot of attention. And so in this way, habits sometimes can have this sort of negative kind of association. We think of bad habits, but habits are actually really important for healthy living.
And here's how the researchers made their discovery. They trained mice to form sugar habits, a process that required the mouse to press a lever to get a treat.
Mice will figure this out and get a reward. And they get to go into that room with the lever for an hour a day, once a day for a week.
It was clear that some of the mice had formed a habit when the animal kept pressing the lever, even after the treats were removed.
We could see that some mice were relatively goal-oriented. If they didn't get the reward, they stopped right away, whereas others kind of didn't really realize there was a disconnect between the outcome that they had originally wanted, the sugar pellet, and they would just keep pressing.
Researchers then compared the brains of the mice that had formed a habit to the ones that didn't.
I mean, you're literally getting an inside view of how the brain works.
The study focused on the electrical activity in the part of the brain called the basal ganglia. It's deep inside the brain, and it controls motor actions and compulsive behavior. The basal ganglia has two main pathways. One carries a go signal, which encourages an action, and the stop signal prevents or halts an action.
Pretty fascinating that you can just be literally watching these brain cells fire, just in the slice, sitting in a dish, just with this fluid circulating through.
And researchers found in the mice with habits, both pathways in the basal ganglia were active.
And it needs to be side by side under the same experimental conditions. That's exactly what we're doing. We're comparing the activity of the two pathways.
In the mice with habits, both the stop and go pathways were firing. In other words, the formation of habit changed the wiring of the brain.
All of the cells fired more in the habit-trained mice, and then these yellow or red cells fired sooner than the green cells.
And so that gives us a clue about how the brain encodes information right there, and that habit seems to be this diffuse layer that's uniformly affecting the cells in this region.
And researchers found that not only was the wiring of the brain changed in the mice with habits, the brain's activity changed as well. In a mouse with a habit, the green light cells fired first, and in the non-habit mice, the timing flip-flopped. The stop sign fired first.
And this is kind of cool because instead of just the responses getting bigger, which we saw was important for the behavior, they seem to be in a race. The relative timing of which brain cell fired first predicted whether the mouse was habitual or not. So we see the timing hardwired into the circuit when they learn habit.
Of course, all of the research then begs the question, how do you stop a bad habit?
And successfully breaking a habit was predicted by one feature of the circuitry, and that was if the green light cells quiet it down. If you could dampen that go signal, that predicted that you would successfully break the habit.
The mice, which were rewarded for pressing the lever, were then rewarded only if they stopped pressing it. In short, the wired brain had to be rewired. Researchers are still working on how that translates into help for humans with bad habits, but it suggests changing a habit isn't quick or easy, and it requires a conscious rethinking of an action.
So we have the language here for this is what it looks like to express a habit, and this is what correlates with breaking a habit.